Hi everybody, this is Teacher Ann, and today I'm going to read to you From Road to Work, Applying and Interviewing by Ronna Magy, published by the New Readers Press. And this is the second chapter in this book. I read the first chapter in an earlier video that's posted on the English for Advancement YouTube channel that's part of JVS Boston. So if you haven't seen it yet, I hope you'll take a look. And today I'm reading a story, another work story. All of these are stories about jobs. This story is called Finding a Vein, V-E-I-N, like that thing we have in our arm and other parts of our body. And after I read the story, I will ask some questions that are in the book to see if you understood the story. Okay, here we go. Finding a Vein. 1. Aster is a phlebotomist. She works in a laboratory. She takes blood from patients. 2. How did Aster find the job? First, she studied English as a second language. Then she got a high school diploma. Next, she took classes in phlebotomy and the human body. After that, Aster passed a test. Now she is a certified phlebotomy technician. And don't worry, I'm going to explain these words in a few minutes. 3. Phlebotomy jobs are not easy to find. Most labs want workers with work experience. Aster didn't have any work experience. 4. Aster applied for a job online. She filled out a job application, and one day a lab supervisor looked at Aster's application. She called Aster. The supervisor asked, "Do you want to volunteer on Saturdays for a month?" Aster said, "Yes." 5. Aster volunteered in the lab every Saturday for once a month. The lab supervisor showed Aster what to do. Aster helped, but she did not get paid. 6. Aster learned to verify a patient's name and identification. She learned to read the doctor's orders. She learned to pick the correct tube for each blood test. 7. Aster watched other phlebotomists find a good vein in a patient's arm. She watched them take blood from adults and children. 8. At the end of the month, the lab supervisor said, "Aster, now you know what we do in the lab. Do you want a job? You can start on-the-job training next week." Aster said yes. She was excited. She trained in the lab for the next 2 months. So I'm going to show you the pictures because I think it helps to understand what's happening here. All right, there's Aster. And there's another picture of her working in the lab. And the word phlebotomist, that means somebody who works in a laboratory and knows how to take blood in the proper way so the blood can be tested for different problems and diseases. Phlebotomist. Let's see if you can see that word okay. It's PH. You know how often in English the PH makes the F sound. Phlebotomist. That's the job title. And she works in a laboratory, a place where people do research or where people do medical tests. And when she passed the test, she became a certified phlebotomy technician. Certified phlebotomy technician. Okay, that's the job title when she became certified. And I think the rest of these words mostly you probably know. I'll just go over a few more. Aster learned to verify a patient's name. That means, she made sure that the name was spelled correctly and that she had the correct information about the person, about the patient, and also about the patient's identification. That might be a driver's license, a social security card, or any kind of card that shows a person's identity, who the person is. She learned to pick the correct tube for each blood test. A tube is a small container that the blood is put into. And in the last paragraph, the supervisor told her that she could start on-the-job training. And that's a very good thing if you ever have that opportunity. That's when you get a job and the supervisor trains you after you start working. So you're getting paid for getting the training. That's a very good thing. All right, let's go over some of these questions. Number 1, what is Aster's job? Is she a teacher? Is she a person that works in a zoo? Or is she a phlebotomist? Very good. Very good. You answered the last one, phlebotomist. Very good. Where does Aster work? Does she work at JVS? Does she work in a school? Or does she work in a laboratory? Sometimes we say lab for short. Lab or laboratory, same thing. Okay, very good. If you said lab, you are correct. What does she do on her job? Let's see. What does she do on her job? She takes blood from patients. That is the main thing she does in this job. She takes blood from patients. Number 4, according to paragraph 2, what did Aster study in school? Did she study Spanish? Did she study Amharic? Those would be good things to learn. But in this story, she studied English as a second language, which we now sometimes call English for speakers of other languages. And then she took classes in phlebotomy, learning how to take blood safely. And she took classes about the human body. All right, very good. 5, what certification does Aster have? All right. She is certified as a phlebotomy technician. She is a certified phlebotomy technician. That is difficult English. Let's practice pronouncing. I can't even say pronouncing. Let's practice pronouncing that. Okay, first me. Certified phlebotomy technician. Good. Now say it 3 times fast. Certified phlebotomy technician, certified phlebotomy technician, certified phlebotomy technician. See, that was hard even for me, and I'm an English teacher. All right, very good. Okay. What did Aster do every Saturday for 1 month? I see here that she volunteered. She volunteered in a lab. And that's a good thing to do if you have time to do that, because then you can get experience, not just at a lab, but really in any kind of place. It's a good way to get some job experience. 8, did Aster get paid for volunteering? All right, if you answered no, you are correct. Usually when somebody volunteers, it means they're doing something and not getting paid. Not getting paid in money, but you do get paid in experience. It's a good thing. If you can, I know not everyone can do that, but if you can, that's a really good thing. All right, number 9. Name 3 things Aster learned on Saturdays. Let's see, what did she learn on Saturdays? Let's see. All right, she learned to verify a patient's name and identification. She learned to read the doctor's orders, and she learned to pick the correct tube for the blood test. All right, if you said that, you were right. And then the last one, how long did Aster train in the lab? Does anyone remember that one? Did she train in the lab for 6 months? Did she train in the lab for 5 years? Or did she train in the lab for 2 months? Very good. I heard one of you say 2 months. Very good. All right, so I only have 15 minutes for these videos. So what I'm going to do now is just do a little bit more in this book. And this is circle the word or phrase that means the same as the vocabulary words. All right, this is what it looks like in the book, just so you can get an idea what I'm reading from. And I'm just going to do a few of these. So, number 1, Aster is a phlebotomist, and your choices are: a phlebotomist is a person who takes blood, or a person who works in a market. All right, very good. I heard that you guessed A, a person who takes blood. All right, just going to do 2 more. She applied for a job online. Does applied mean that she filled out a job application or that she trained at work? The word applied, like to apply for a job, right? So you were right if you said A, she filled out a job application. The word apply is the verb, and the noun is application, as in job application. All right, let's do 1 more. So if somebody says to you, you can start on the job training next week, does that mean training at home or training at work? Right? If you said training at work, you are correct. Now, many people are working at home, particularly these days, so it's possible that the on-the-job training could be from your home remotely, but usually on-the-job training means going to the job and getting trained there. So I hope you like the story, and in each video, I'm going to read another story from this book, Road to Work, Applying and Interviewing. And if you want to buy the book, you can actually buy it for not very expensive from used bookstores. The one I like is called biblio.com, biblio.com. And they have very good books online, and they only sell books. So they won't take as long as some other vendors that are selling toilet paper and lots of other things. So I recommend them, but you can buy it from anywhere you want. And I will keep reading stories on this channel. So keep studying English. Stay safe, everybody. And I'll be seeing you again soon.